When I arrived at the wedding hall, my son-in-law laughed. Your name isn't on the list. When I arrived at the wedding hall in Dallas, Texas, the sun was setting low, and the building glowed like something out of a dream. Guests were stepping out of black cars and polished SUVs. Women in sequin dresses clicked past me on sharp heels, and men with trimmed beards shook hands like business partners. I had chosen a soft blue gown for this day. It wasn't flashy, but it was mine. Paid for with my own hands, with money I had put aside. My shoes pinched a little, but I told myself it didn't matter. Tonight was supposed to be about love, family, and new beginnings. But when I reached the door, the usher flipped the clipboard. His eyes skimmed the list once, twice. He glanced at me, then back at the paper. And then, with a smirk that spread across his face, my son-in-law stepped forward. Your name isn't on the list, he said. And then he laughed. Loud. Cruel. A laugh that carried into the hall behind him. Heads turned. Whispers rose like smoke. I felt heat crawl up my face, but my feet froze to the marble. The laughter went on, bouncing off the stone pillars, each chuckle pushing me further to the edge of invisibility. At that moment, I was no longer a mother, no longer family. I was a ghost at the threshold of a story I had built with my own sweat. But what no one knew, not the guests, not the ushers, not even the daughter I had raised with everything I had, was that in my bag, tucked beneath a packet of tissues, was an envelope. Inside that envelope was the truth. And that truth had the power to silence his laugh forever. Backstory: The Old Woman's Journey. My name doesn't matter much. I'm just an old woman from Oklahoma, the kind people pass by at grocery stores without noticing. But once I was someone. A wife. A mother. A worker who never stopped. I married young. My husband was a truck driver, one of those men who knew every mile marker on I-35 between Oklahoma and Kansas. He had strong hands and a smile that could light up a room. For years, I thought we'd grow old together, rocking on the porch of a little house in Tulsa. But life had other plans. One night, when my youngest was still in middle school, the call came. An accident on the highway. A semi flipped. My husband never came home. I was 42, a widow, and a mother of 3. I went to work in a nursing home, pulling double shifts, washing sheets, lifting patients twice my size. My hands cracked from bleach water. My back ached so badly at night, I sometimes cried myself to sleep. But I kept going. Every paycheck, I tucked a little away, always for my children. For their future. My daughter, my only girl, was the dreamer. She loved books, music, dresses. I wanted her to have a better life, one where she never had to scrub floors until her knuckles bled. So I gave. Quietly, patiently, always believing that one day, when she stood in white lace and said, "I do," I would sit in the front row and know it was all worth it. I never thought I'd be the one locked out instead. It started with numbers. I had been saving in one account for years. Nothing fancy, just a credit union savings account in Tulsa. But one day, when I went to withdraw a little for groceries, I noticed the balance was smaller than I remembered. At first, I thought maybe I had miscalculated. Old age, forgetfulness. But the next month, more was missing. I went to the bank. The clerk, a young man with slick hair and a polite smile, pulled up my file. He slid across some papers. "You signed these," he said. My hands shook as I looked down. My name was scrawled in black ink. But it wasn't my handwriting. I whispered, "This isn't me." The clerk hesitated, then said quietly, "Ma'am, these transfers moved funds into another account. Out of state." When I asked whose account it was, his eyes flickered to the screen. He gave me a number, and when I traced it back, my stomach dropped. It belonged to my daughter's fiancé, the man who would later stand at that wedding hall door and laugh in my face.